Do you believe white privilege exists?
Yes, 100%. I think white privilege is the ability to be able to ignore something.
One thing that I found quite frustrating about the media coverage on Black Lives Matter protests is they'd have you believe that it's only important to black people through focusing on them in the crowd or only interviewing black people. When in reality, something truly unique about all the protests around the world is that we've seen so many people of different races show up. So in part 2, I'm going to be talking to white people asking why they're protesting.
As a white person, it just makes me sick.
Racism is insidious across every country in the world.
Is there such a thing as systemic racism?
I don't have to leave the house and worry whether or not I'm going to be racially profiled.
My skin colour should not give me an unearned advantage.
And I'll be getting their thoughts on that triggering phrase, white privilege.
So I went to find out why recent events made them want to protest.
Have either of you watched the video of George Floyd?
Yeah.
How did it make you feel?
Just scared.
Yeah, scared, definitely. It's actually worrying how people can be treated like that, I think.
And treated like an absolute animal, he was just
for
nothing.
no reason.
You watched it, how did it make you feel?
Outraged.
It was a really good wake-up call, for sure.
Furious, but at the same time, furious for all the people who've come before. Mark Duggan, Sean Reed, Jean-Charles Menezes, all of these people who've been victims of state repression.
It made me feel horrified and disgusted and yet not surprised because we've seen it happen again and again.
The trauma of seeing that for so many people, especially black people, it needed to have been seen, it needs to have been circulated, but it's just so traumatic. I just didn't watch the whole thing. It's choking me up thinking about it.
This person is being murdered before our eyes by people who are supposed to protect us. It's institutionalized murder.
It makes me ashamed, to be honest, that there's people like me doing that sort of thing.
Since the protests began, opposition groups had taken to the streets. But what do protesters make of this growing backlash?
People have been saying all lives matter in response to Black Lives Matter. What are your thoughts on that?
It's bollocks. Obviously all lives matter, but if all lives really did matter, we wouldn't be seeing people of colour killed by the police at this rate.
Well, I think they've obviously and most likely deliberately misconstrued what Black Lives Matter means. For the people who don't understand, you're not putting one person's life over another person's life. You're just explaining that black people have been systematically oppressed for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it continues, and it's incredibly pervasive and insidious, and we're addressing that issue. And for you to say all lives matter, you're completely disregarding that. And I tend to think people do that deliberately.
If someone's got a broken leg and someone says, yeah, but what about my leg? It's you've also got legs, but that's not where the pain is right now, and you need to focus on that.
If someone says Black Lives Matter, they think it means white lives don't matter, but it doesn't. It's about a levelling out.
I think it's people's way of trying to justify their the racism they have within them a lot of the time. They don't understand the privilege or the struggles of other people, and I think that's largely due to things like education,
Everyone knows that, yes, of course, everyone's life matters, but everyone needs to be treated the same for everyone's life to matter, and no one does get treated the same. I can't look at my Facebook because it makes me so angry at the moment. That's all that's being shared.
You're never taught to realise that you have so much privilege because of who you are. In a white-centred society, you would see me just as a woman. You wouldn't look at me and go, oh, they're black as well, or then you put all those connotations around it. White supremacy means that you don't see black people as complex individuals, unique individuals.
No lives matter until Black Lives Matter. All lives matter is just a way to just dismiss the very real problem of black lives being brutalised.
It's not good enough to be not racist. Now you have to be anti-racist because people aren't recognising that.
With protesters acknowledging that all lives aren't equal in the UK, do they believe white privilege exists, and what exactly is it?
Everything I'm hearing at the moment is news to me that has been some people's existence and some people's experience every day.
It takes a lot to reverse, for sure, even from your own point of view.
When you go and buy a plaster, you find it in paler colours, it's much harder to find it in darker colours, and there are just so many different ways that you can see how my skin colour
should not give me like an unearned advantage.
It's like sometimes really tiny things, like you're able to go to your local hairdresser and they're able to cater for your hair type, or you're able to get makeup in the colour of your skin. It's like those little everyday things.
For instance, like what I'm wearing now, just plain black tracksuit, I've been out numerous times, never got stopped and searched. But if a black person of my age is to go out in this outfit, I think it's something like 7 times more likely they got stopped. But for no other reason based on their skin colour.
You need to recognise every part of your life where you have, without thinking, accepted a privilege.
I think so many people of all races have come out to these protests over the course of the week because it's really highlighting different experiences. On the one hand, the death of George Floyd has reignited the frustration that a lot of black people live on a day-to-day basis. In fact, they're starting to realise that the experiences they've had and somewhat normalised aren't right. On the other hand, you've got white people and other races coming out because they didn't realise these things still existed. Society is still so unequal, and I think people are coming out in their droves because they're in a place where they're ready to listen and hopefully be a part of something that can create true and lasting change.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please check out part 1, where I asked black people in London why they've been protesting over the death of George Floyd.